Yo, what is going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I got a deck profile video for you. You guys been waiting for this. Now it's finally here. We're gonna start out with the pure synchro build, okay? Because I'm not sure if you guys are ready for the Kali build yet, okay? So let's start off real slow. Let's start off from the basics, okay? To understand like how BLACKWINGS work, how to use their combos and all of that. And then we're gonna move on to the Kali build in the future. But yeah, you know what? Let's go on. Alright guys, I want to show you a lot of different plays and hands with this deck. First of all, I want to show you the main combo with the pure synchro build that I think is the best one. It is basically the 3x BLACKWINGS Soul Dragon alongside with Hot Red Dragon Abyss and the Twin Shadow set. So the moon works really well, or if you have like only one Zuji and one whirlwind, it's also enough. And yeah, let's go. Let's do this real quick here, okay? So these two gonna give us Vata and Shamal, like that. By the way, this deck is really cool. Going second, going first, doesn't matter. It got 9 to 10 hand traps that you can play, so you can always assure that you're gonna have at least one hand trap going second or going first, doesn't matter. But that's pretty cool. Alright, next up we're gonna summon here the Blackwing Dragon. On the summon of Blackwing Dragon, activate the Black Feather Whirlwind to summon Vata. I would not chain Shamal's effect right here. I would wait for it. Next up, activate Zuji's effect. Don't worry about Nibiru, guys. In this format, Nibiru will not be played, so we can just easily go into our combos. Next up, we're gonna go here into Nofung by using Zuji and Vata. Okay, now we got Nofung out here. Activate Nofung's effect. Now we can chain actually Shamal's effect. We get Zuji to our hand. Like that. Next up, we're gonna activate Zephyr's effect to bounce the Black Feather Whirlwind, because you guys know this card is a self once per turn, so we can activate again. Now you can use these two dudes over here. By the way, as you can see, we're not gonna use, so we're gonna summon here Boreal Storm, okay? Activate Boreal Storm's effect, but do not activate the Black Feather Whirlwind yet. With him, you want to send Shamal to the graveyard. Okay, we're gonna need Shamal in a minute. Now you can normally summon additional thanks to Nofung. Chain 1 Zuji, chain 2 Whirlwind. And then you want to search here for Orochi. And with Zuji, you want to search for the Twin Shadow. Okay. We're gonna set the Twin Shadow over here. Special summon Orochi. Use Orochi and the Blackwing Dragon. You go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Next up, we're gonna go into one Assault Dragon and Nofung. And then I wouldn't activate the Black Feather Whirlwind over here right now. Okay, don't do it yet. I want you to go into the Assault Dragon, the second Assault Dragon, by banishing the other twos. Okay, because in this way you can actually trigger now the Feather Whirlwind and get the banished Boreal Storm back to your graveyard. Like this. You can summon the second Assault Dragon over here. Like that. Okay, and now check this out. In the end phase, okay, we're gonna end our turn like this. We're gonna get 1000 damage, of course. Now, what I like to do is here. Right, first of all, with the Twin Shadow, we can go into full Armor Master, or we could also just go into full Silverwind. Okay, so depending on what the situation looks like. So let's wait here a little bit. I know that we are playing against a bot, okay? So Okay, if you want to play like this, it's fine. So here, check this out. What you can do is summon the Spanish. Get him and nothing back to the deck. Like this. And then you can activate Shamal's effect on the summon of full armor master. And then get something like Chinook to your hand. For another interruption. So that if, because usually with 3 times Blackwing Soul Dragon, your opponent is only able to activate like 3 monster effects. I think, yeah, 3. He can only activate 3 monster effects, and if you negate one of that with Chinook, basically only has 2. And with Abyss, he potentially has only 1 monster effect. Yeah. So we can here search for Zuji with Shamal, and we could also activate the Feather Whirlwind, but I want to show you like what else you can do in the grind game with this deck. Like, you can use Zuji's effect to search for whatever you want. You can also like do something like this, and then go in something like this here, for example. So Psychic Endpoint is also being played here. Obviously, if you start with Simoon, then you're locked into Dark, so you won't be able to summon him. But if you don't start with Simoon, it's so easy to summon him. It's really so easy to summon him. I'll show you in future videos. Next up, I want to show you real quick also the one called Zuji Combo for the people that haven't seen that one yet. By the way, here, Small World, beautiful bridge to go into like something like Zuji. And now, if you only have one Zuji, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. You can still end up on a good board. Here, we can search here for Vatsa. Then we can special summon my boy Vatsa over here. Activate his effect. Send Zephyros and Chinook. You want to send Chinook to the graveyard, really important. Now we got him. Now we activate Zuji's effect. Tribute the Blackwing Dragon to get the token out. And then you're gonna activate Zephyros effect to bounce back Zuji. This might be boring for a lot of old viewers, but we got so many new viewers, guys, that we just have to show it a million times until y'all understand how this works. Now we're gonna norm some Zuji again, and with Zuji we're gonna search here for Twin Shadow. Now, because we're controlling 2 black monsters, we can activate this card from our hand. Shuffle those 2 cards back to the grave, back to the deck. Summon Boreal Storm. And now Boreal Storm will send Jamal to the graveyard. Now we can use. We have to go, like, if you think you're playing against elements, then I would suggest to go into 2 times Assault Dragon. But if you don't know who you're playing against, then I would say go ahead and summon full Armor Master, because then you can trigger Shamal's effect in the graveyard only if you summon him, and then get Chinook. Because the thing is, Shamal says it has to be either like a Blackwing Dragon, not Blackwing Soul Dragon, Blackwing Dragon. That's something that you need to keep in mind, or a black monster. And then you can just summon here these 2 by banishing this one by banishing these 2. Now we got, out of 1 Zuji, you got full Armor Master, Blackwing Soul Dragon, and Chinook, and Zuji is still on the floor, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, now stay tuned, guys. I want to show you some in-game footage. If you have like a hand without Zuji or without Simoon. Alright, check this out. For example, we got a hand like this. Do not panic, guys. Do not panic, okay? With Blackwings, you're gonna always have a way. So we're gonna summon Vatsa over here, and you guys know Vatsa and Black Feather Whirlwind is always like full combos for us, right? What if he gets imped? Now we got Hamilton on our hand, luckily, which is pretty awesome because we can now special summon him, use his effect, make him level 4. Then you go here into Boreal Storm. Now this is really important to do the chainings right, because if we do the chainings wrong, then Hamilton's effect will not trigger again. So you want to do Black Feather Whirlwind as 1, and then 2 Boreal Storm. Otherwise, Hamilton is going to miss his timing on this one. You're going to send with Boreal Storm Zephyros. Then Hamilton will be summoned. And now you can use his effect again to manipulate his level. Then before you go into a Synchro monster, activate Zephyr's effect to bounce back to Feather Whirlwind. Because now we got the soft once per turn again. And now it's important to go here into a dark monster. So that you can trigger the Feather Whirlwind again. You could also summon here right now 2 times Blackwing Soul Dragon, okay? But I decided to go into something different because I didn't know who I'm playing against, okay? I don't know who I'm playing against, so let's do it. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. So I decided to go here. Boom. Baron de Fleur and full arm master. And we also got Valor on the hand and Chinook. And the reason why I went into this play here over here instead of 2 times a Soul Dragon is because we got Chinook in our hand. Okay, and with Chinook on our hand, we can later on go also into a Blackwing Soul Dragon, because let's say we are interrupting one of the monster effects. Sorry guys, let's say we're gonna interrupt here a monster effect. Then with Chinook, we can send here one of our Blackwing Dragon. We are playing 2 in this pure synchro build. And then in our grind game later on, we can just banish the Burrito Storm and the sent Blackwing Dragon, which we sent with Chinook. Banish those 2 and then summon Blackwing Soul Dragon. And then trigger again Black Feather Whirlwind, like as a grind game. It's really cool. And you're gonna have like these 2 monsters over here, which is also pretty nice. And yeah, so right now we got 3 interruptions and full armor master. And don't forget, after you use Baron de Fleur's effect, after you've done that, you can summon, like in the standby phase, in your next turn you can send Baron de Fleur back to your deck. And then special summon Zephyros. Okay, you can special summon Zephyros. And then, on your turn, you can special summon Blackwing Soul Dragon. Activate the Black Feather Whirlwind to special summon Burrito Storm again. And then you can use Burrito Storm and Zephyros to go again into Baron de Fleur from your X deck. You guys understand? Like, the grind game is so cool. Alright, let me show you another footage. So let's say we are going second and we have like bad hand like this. First of all, you want to use the Ash against elements. You do not want to wait for kit colors, okay? You do not want to, because if you have Imperm, then I would suggest to wait. But if you don't have Imperm, only Ash, I would use it on something like here Merly, for example. And then just pray that it was enough. So he goes into Mass Change, which is insane. I have not seen that often. But cool. And we got kick colors. Okay. And now we were actually pretty lucky with the milds. And he just had to end up on something like this. So we got Sulik, Darklaw, and yeah. Okay, so I started off with Small World because we wanted to trigger Darklaw's effect first. Okay. Yeah, Darklaw effect triggers. Arashi is away. That's fine. Now Black Whirlwind, Shamal. I'm gonna search here for Hammerton. Now we're gonna use these 2 to go into Nofung. And then Nofung. Yeah. That was exactly what I tried to bait. That's cool. At the same time, I wish I could have normal summoned Vata again so that I can search for Chinook for the grind game, which would also be nice. And then he goes here into Rukolos. Now we're gonna use these 2 to go into Draco Berserker. And against Tillements, guys, Draco Berserker is just a force. Look at this. Boom. Boom. So cool. Okay. And then here, what else you can do with Draco Berserker is... Now we got full combo here, but because I know he has Mudora on his graveyard, I decided to go first. Okay, do Kelbeck. Against Kelbeck or Hafter, don't worry. Once Draco Berserker is out, we can just banish those. Okay, so that's pretty cool. we're just gonna banish Kelbeck so it does not resolve. Now we're just gonna go here to Burrito Storm and then force him to activate Mudora, and we're gonna target with Feather Whirlwind banished card, which is Hamilton. And yeah, now he's going to use Mudora to bounce all of these cards back, which is fine. And now check this out. You cannot change Snow on Burrito Storm's effect because it is like the 5th, 6th step of the damage step, which is like really complicated, but we are still like in the damage step. So this is why he wasn't able to chain his Snow, and then yeah, that's why we won. Alright, let's check out the deck list. Alright, and as you can see, guys, this is like the pure synchro build. We are not playing links, seeds, whatever. We're trying to stay true to the synchro builds. And as you can see, I'm playing 2 times Blackwing Burrito Storm and Blackwing Dragon, because in the grind game they are just so huge. They are so huge, and I really love playing with those in the pure synchro build. It's really amusing. And we've also got the Psychic and Punisher with Baron de Fleur. I got a lot of combos how to summon them. Obviously not if you start with Simoon, but if you start with something else, then it's actually so easy to summon those. And in the grind game, especially in the grind game, these two come in clutch, really. So I know that they're not dark types, but there are still ways to play with them. Okay, so yeah. Then we are playing Veilers right now instead of Shifter, because like I made the Shifter is actually pretty good, but only if you have like a good hand. If you don't have a good hand, if you start with Shamal and Vata and you got Shifter in your hand, then it can backfire, which is why I decided to play the Veilers. And the Veilers are also pretty good, especially against elements. If you just Veiler Kid Colors or whatever, then it's also gonna do a lot of good stuff. And there are also beautiful bridges for Noctovision. And besides that, if Noctovision is already on your hand, then you can use Noctovision and Veiler, and then search for Shamal or Vata to your hand, which is also pretty cool. And yeah, by the way, for the people that still don't understand how Small World works, is that if you have, for example, a Black monster on your hands, okay, then you want to banish the Black monster, doesn't matter which one, and then you want to banish Noctovision from your deck. And the only thing, like, what you need to pay attention for is that only one thing they can share in common. All the Blackwings and Noctovision, the only thing they share in common is being a dark type, okay, nothing else. If they would share something else, like 2 things, for example, the same attack and the same type, then you cannot use them as a bridge, okay? So it has to be exactly one thing. And this is the reason why Veilers and Ash are also so good with Noctovision, because the only thing these two share in common is having the 0 attack, and also with Veiler. And the only thing Veiler and Ash has in common is also having the 0 attack. So doesn't matter what you have on your hand, as long as you got Small World in your hand, you can always search for Blackwing monster, which is pretty cool. But if you have Noctovision on your hand, then unfortunately you will not be able to search for Simoon or for Zuji. But you can still end up on Shamal and Vata, and this is also really big. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, then you have to play Cold Bites and Ash in every deck, because you do not want to lose against Maxi, okay? You really do not want to lose against Maxi. That's really one thing. I'm not playing Steam in this build because really it's not necessary to play. I only like to play Steam if we are playing Strix and Bold Savage Dragon, but if you're not playing those two, then it's not important. And yeah, but Steam is also something that comes in like really clutch. So especially if you got that Hamilton and Steam on your hand, Hamilton and Gale on your hand, then you can go into Draco Berserker, and Draco Berserker is just the MVP. It's insane how good this card is. And yeah, there's so much stuff to tell about this deck. I'll do another video where I'll show off all the combos that you can do, but I cannot do this everything in one video, but it's gonna come. Okay, it's gonna come. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This deck is insane, guys. Okay, you need to spend a lot of time to understand how this deck works, okay? But it's worth it, okay? It's really worth it. You're not gonna be able to play this deck after like a couple hours or days, because there's so many ways. As I just showed you in the video, in the clips before, like even though I got impermed, I was still able to play. So yeah, yep, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want the other deck list, then be patient, I'll upload them anytime soon. Not sure when, but if you want them right now, then don't forget you can always support your boy Patreon. I also got the awesome combos now with Baron de Fleur and Cali. Woo, like big things are coming guys. Alright, I'm tired guys, I gotta go. Good night, bye bye.